Oh, you can see the whole backstage. Maybe, maybe you should stand. Like, okay, you can't see much. You can see all the No, don't think that's working. No, I don't.
How about that?
Yeah, put down there. I think so.
No. We're going to move everybody.
Woo, we alive, we alive.
That's not going to work.
All right, so I'll just tell people to head to. Give it to me. Just that's all right because I'm not gonna stay live for the whole thing. I want you guys to head straight away now to YouTube. So you go to YouTube, please, Jess. Yeah, let's go to YouTube now because I'm gonna end this live in a minute or so. So go to YouTube. Talita and Jess is the channel. We actually live over there. We're about to start. This is it. Let's go. We ready?
Not yet.
Yes, we are. But we can let the other queen take her time while I say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Queencast episode number 2. I am Talita Dance Queen, and along with me I have Jess.
Hi, guys.
The Princess Queen. Is that a word, the Princess Queen?
The princess.
Yeah,
I'll be the princess.
You are the princess. Great. So, yes, the Queencast episode number 2. Before we go ahead and start with everything, I just must say, if you're watching now, don't forget to give us a like. You see this thing, yeah, just go press that and also subscribe to the channel. And if you can, please activate your notifications so every time we're live, you're going to go, you're going to see, you're going to have the notification that we're live. Pretty basic.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yes, and what's actually happening right now here
What do you
with
mean?
Jess having this huge glass of, what is that? Is this wine? Are you drinking wine? Aren't you pregnant?
Well, yeah. So I'm 31 weeks pregnant, everybody. And I will have to say that I have been increasing my fruit intake astronomically, and it's extended to what I've been drinking. So I am on the grapefruit train juice.
Oh, grapefruit. No, grape. So you mean grape, not grapefruit, grape. Oh, so
It's good.
it's good. And what about me? So you just drink this? You just drink the bowl, and then I just...
Yeah, I poured a little bit more than I
Then I
thought I
just keep
needed.
my watch.
Do you want some? Because I've got some here ready for you.
Yes, I do want some. I definitely want some. Oh, let me see this.
will
What
get you
is
through
this? We are talking about over juice. Oh, you even have a glass with us. Thank you so much. So we're talking about over juice, which is 100% Vitis Labrusca, nothing else. So this means only grape.
Only grapes.
Only grapes here. And this is actually imported from Brazil. So we're talking about a Brazilian product as well. And actually, we're also talking about our sponsor, our first sponsors, guys.
Yeah, we got a for sponsor. I don't mind that at all. Look, it's catering to me. I just sent Ben out to the shops to get white peaches and grapes.
There you go.
So there we go. I came here and I'm having some more grapes.
And so thank you to Ova. We're having one more podcast going on. And of course, if you want to try, could you please pull me some?
I have to do everything.
You have to do everything. So yes, you can have reliving days for you. The QR code, is that right? And you can actually
much do we
scan. That's fine.
Do you want some as much as me?
You can scan the QR code, and that's going to take you to the website where you can actually find the point of sales here in Adelaide. So that you can leave the bottle here. Let's help our friends.
I think we can do that.
Yeah,
Plus, I might
we
want
can
some
do
more
that.
anyway.
Yeah,
Put that over
exactly.
there.
So over juice, right next to TQ. Yeah. So take a look at the website, and you're gonna find out the point of sales where you can find the amazing juice. So not just here at the podcast, you can have at home as well, just like Jess and I.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, over juice.
Not bad.
Not bad. So
Not bad. We are. Well, I mean, this kind of kicks off exactly what our podcast is all about today, huh?
Let's get to business.
Let's get to business. Yeah. So supporting from one business to another. We both are business owners.
Yes, we are.
Talita Dance Queen, the Queen Factory, the Queencast.
The queen everything.
The queen of everything.
So I believe, I was thinking that I think the Queen Factory, it's like the top of the business, where I create everything. Does that make sense?
The business,
so it's the factory of everything. So then the Queencast, then the Queen Factory programs of samba classes, of entertainment, of this and that. So it's like
it's
the queen of the queens.
The queen of the queens. But at the same time, like, this is a business, this is like a brainchild of yours that has not been around forever.
No.
And obviously you had confidence to go out on your own at some point with the factory. But what began that journey for you? Because I feel like everyone has a business story from their childhood, or everyone has like a business story from when they were younger that has like been a catalyst or been that motivator that they can think back and go, yeah, that was where it all began.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you have one of those moments?
Yes, she's been a business girl, businesswoman since I was a business girl. Yeah, I remember when I was young, I would like at school. So my dad would buy like M&Ms and then take home, and I'll be like, no, I'm not gonna eat this. And then I'll be like, oh, Dad, how much does it cost to you to buy this and that? Let's say 25 cents. So I would not eat and then take take school and then sell it for like 50 cents.
At school?
Yeah, at school. And
They
then
didn't have
people,
M&Ms at school?
that's so weird, because now that I'm telling you this, I don't understand how come people actually bought it from me. So
Was there something like they could have bought from the canteen? Yeah. Maybe you were better at selling.
I think I'm better selling. I think maybe that was already a thing of me being
They
like,
didn't have to go and line up. They didn't have to talk to the adults.
but
They could buy
maybe
from
also
kids.
like maybe like the canteen didn't really have as many variety, because at some point I was making my dad buy like Ferrero Rochers, M&M, like different kinds of chocolates that were not, because usually we see like Brazilian brands, and these would be like, international brands.
Okay, yeah.
So it would be better for me to be just like, I want this, I want that.
So you basically just took what your father gave you and made a profit off that.
And made a
sold
profit of
to your
it.
kids.
And my
how
dad-
old were you, by the way?
I was probably around 10 or
That's
11
pretty
years
good.
old. Yeah.
That's pretty business savvy of a 10-year-old.
Yeah, and my dad was just like, and then my dad kind of understood that was a business game. And then he's like, okay, how many do you
upping
need?
your prices?
No, he was just like, okay, how many do you need tonight? And then
He just comes home to you sitting in your bedroom with all these
Waiting up.
receipts and all this money.
10 years old.
What did you do with the extra money? Like, what did you save
I would
it?
just save, but I wasn't really good at saving until I pretty much got married, and then I actually learned how to save more during marriage, like with my husband, with Wiz. I wasn't really good at savings. I would just have the money to buy and spend on something else. And
Yeah.
I'm probably more chocolate.
Well, when you're younger anyway, though, like there's not as many things that you have to look after for yourself. Like, you're not like living alone. You're not having to pay for this, pay for that. You've got your parents to look after.
Yeah.
Like when I was a kid, I wanted to run a restaurant. So I like made my family stay in one section of the house and I closed off the rest. I was maybe 6 and I would write a sign and I'd put it on the front fence of our house and I would open up all of the doors and I would set up a restaurant in our lounge room. And I found this Mozart CD that I would play because I thought that was restaurant music. And then I created a menu and I'd just be waiting outside.
For them to order.
No. For people to walk past my house and
they'd
then
be
for me
like,
to
"Hey, it's a
invite them in
restaurant."
as a restaurant.
Oh my God.
I mean, it doesn't sound like it was as successful as your business because I didn't make any money, but it was the beginning of my journey. It was the beginning of my journey.
It's probably, it was the beginning of your journey, and I think it's probably as well, ideas of how to start something
Yeah.
and the risk taking of something as well. Like, maybe you thought that, you had a room and then people would just walk, like your dreams could be bigger.
Build it and they will come.
Yeah, while I was more like taking actions, I was more like, yeah, now here we go. Just buy these glass of water.
Yeah, selling ice to Eskimos.
Yeah,
some may say.
exactly.
You are a good seller right from the very beginning.
I think and also I'm very, because now thinking maybe I could have made more money if I thought about it and actually, this is how much I could make of profit, blah blah blah. But then, yeah, I was just impulsive and let's just take this to school and then sell it. Like you said, maybe people could just be like, no, we can buy these there. Why would we buy from you?
Convenience. I mean, let's be honest. Think about Uber Eats right now. I have ordered a pizza from around the corner from my house that I could have walked to.
Yeah,
I've paid more money to have that pizza be delivered to my door when
instead of just,
I could have just walked around and ordered it, waited for it, and come back.
So
a good example of something that's accessible, but it's less convenient.
So you see that convenience is since we a child. We were looking for convenience.
It's even worse now. So you started back then, and obviously your dad.
I started.
That was the beginning of the Queen's journey. But you also had some help from your father. Did you? When you got? Well, I mean, he was the one that funded.
But
you all the chocolates.
So now that you're saying I had a help from my father, okay, that was the chocolate thing. But I want to bring something up that was me. So I used to live in Rio de Janeiro. So these little streets like a villa, so lots of houses together with the gate. And I would put up on a show. I would literally be like, hey, you, 25 cents to watch the show. I would charge the kids and the kids would pay the show, 25 cents. And I would even give show bags at the end with like little lollies or etc. So I didn't really have much of a profit, but it was so good for me to be like, I'm running something. Yeah. People were actually paying for me to dance. I don't know, I share on the street.
That they already know anyway, because everyone knows that.
Yeah, but they were just like, oh, Talita's coming up. And then at some point it got big and my mom and then it's still the same age, like 9 or 10 years old. And then it got big at a point that moms of the street would contact my mom and be like, oh, Talita, because then I started to raise the price. You're like, it's not 25 cents anymore because now I'm famous. And then I remember this time that this mom contacted my mom to be like, hey, she's charging the kids to dance on the street. What the heck? But it didn't, and then when sometimes we would just do for free for the community as well. We would just do for free like Spice Girls
charity event.
Yeah. I would put everyone together. So since I was very young, I would call my friends and be like, yeah, let's learn these steps from Spice Girls. You're going to be Victoria. I was always Mel B.
Of course you were.
You could be Mel C or either Victoria.
I was, I was never Victoria. I never got Victoria. I was always Jerry.
Jerry?
Yeah, I was Jerry because I was the one that ended up getting the one that other people didn't want to be.
I love Jerry.
I mean, I like her now. It's the same with Charlie's Angels. I was always Lucy Lou.
I love Jerry. I think she's like fantastic. Why wouldn't people?
I don't know. No one wanted me to. No one wanted to be her.
If you're watching this and you think if you think that Jerry from Spice Girls was amazing, just like I do, give us a thumbs up.
I wanted to be Sporty Spice. I wanted to be Mel C.
Okay, yeah, you totally look like Mel C.
That's
You're totally sporty now.
That's what I thought. Never had red hair, but yeah. Anyway, that was, I guess, one of the areas that you excelled at when you were at that age. But then you also had other businesses as well, though, yeah? It wasn't just about dance. And, like, even now, it's not just about dance.
Yeah.
So what were you doing? Because you ran, a cafe and you had a clothes store when you were younger.
Yeah. Now, when I was in Brazil, so after so I went to Israel, right? So when I went back, we were not too sure what to do. Then I went in partnerships with she was kind of a cousin, but she's actually a friend, very close friend from the family. So she had this restaurant and my sister was already helping. And then we were back in Brazil and we were just like, we would like to, put some money into a business because we want to have a business. And then we just joined. But then, so that was a restaurant. And then it was pretty good for us to understand logistics and how everything works. So Wiz and I got into this as a partnership.
Yeah.
But then for personal reasons, we just decided that wasn't really our thing.
Sure.
We still wanted to have like a restaurant or a cafe, but maybe just us and not really having someone else, because that it's also another big deal. Even having a business with my husband, it's a big deal. We've been fighting all these days because of but it's good that we understand that it's all business, process.
And I mean,
so.
you two have been in businesses for quite some time now. I mean, like, obviously the type of business that you've been concentrating on may have changed over the years that you have been together, but, you have got a history of supporting one another through business for quite a while.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, if there's going to be anybody that you can tolerate, it's probably going to be him.
Yeah. And then he needs to understand as well that my temper is going to change, my mood is going to change, and this is it. So today we had a fight. And then I'm like, can't you understand what's happening? I have a gig, I have a podcast, I
have this, I have that.
Everything happening.
And that's
of
the thing,
course.
right? As a business owner, you're wearing multiple hats, but if there's someone that can be there for the ride and understand the craziness and can kind of bring you back down to earth and look at it from a different view, like, that can be really helpful.
That's super helpful, and especially because of his support, I'm actually able to do lots of things at the same time because I don't have an avatar. So he's like the other person doing. For example, to get here today, he was driving and I was taking a nap.
You and me both.
And then while I was in the computer doing something when I got home today, he was cooking. So it is supportive, even if it's not, it's straight hands on all the hands on deck of the business. It is behind the scenes, which is pretty much the foundation. It's like
absolutely
what makes it resist, because otherwise
we can't do what you do. Ben can't do what I do. So they do what they can to ease the load to help you from having a mental breakdown.
I mean, think you're like, Wiz can do it. He might say that he can do what I can do.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, like, he's had to pivot a little bit from what his previous career was, though, in that he had to, he came from like a science background, he came from an academic background, and then he went into the stage and the performing arts and the theatre to support you. So, I mean, there's probably skills that he's acquired along the way that have become extremely useful for you, like sourcing fabric and setting up lights and looking at music.
Extremely everything.
All that sort of stuff. And I mean, that's probably one of the biggest things that we can struggle with as business owners is taking on everything and then nothing working, because you can't, you're wearing multiple hats as it is anyway, and then sometimes it can be like a jack of all trades but sort of a master of none, and so like you can be good at little bits and pieces but may not necessarily be excellent at everything. Like I've learned that the hard way. Some things I hate doing that become part of the business take me hours to figure out what to do. I may as well just give that job to somebody else so that I can do the job that
how to do better.
Because it just makes sense to do it that way. Otherwise, you're just going to be spending hours upon hours doing things but not feeling like you're getting anywhere.
Yeah, but how do you feel like, for example, you in business, do you feel like either way, even if you delegate, you still feel like you're the final it's yours? Like,
that is a bit
you can't
hard.
really rely that people will do as good as you would.
Yeah, well, true, because it is sometimes hard, because when it's your own business, it's your baby, right?
Yeah.
This is my business is the baby before the baby. Like,
then you'll have and that's why I'm not having a baby.
well that's one of the biggest things I think we struggle with as women in business is like, particularly in your 30s, like, at this time, they're thinking, people will say, oh, the biological clock is ticking. Like, what are you going to do? And it's like, well, I've got this business and I'm a sole trader. It completely relies on me. What am I going to do? Because if I have a child and there's no one there to replace me, then what? My business baby is what? Going to be all for nothing? And then I have this child and I can't do my business? Like, I think women struggle a little bit more sometimes than men to be able to make that decision and have both, like have your cake and eat it too, without
agree,
one
100%.
thing sort of suffering. And so I had to kind of figure out what to do, because a girlfriend of mine a few years earlier, didn't have a backup plan. She fell pregnant and she was in her late 30s. She had a business. It was exclusively based on her.
Oh, no.
And I had to support that business. I took time off my job to support her for 3 months. I ran her business while she had her baby. And then after I couldn't do any longer, my friend ran her business for another 3 months. So she got six months. But if she didn't have me and she didn't have my friend, her business would have had to have closed down. And I mean, unfortunately, she was the breadwinner. She needed to keep that business open. But at the same time, she also needed and she wanted to have a child. So that was
which
the
is
dilemma,
fair enough.
Which I think is totally
it's
fair enough.
super fair. Yeah, of course.
But for me, I kind of thought, well, crap, like I'm going to have this child. I need to employ people. I need to train them up. So I think it's all about, I mean, there's only so much you can plan, right? But the idea is to have people behind you, like Reese or like my partner Ben or like the girls that I've employed who can do my job for me.
I think it's a training system as well. That you train your brain to start like getting used to the fact that you can't run the world. You
have to let go.
We do feel like we run the world, but you don't really.
I read up that I think like over 30% of businesses in Australia are run by women, which is, it's not half, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think in Australia, I think we're in the top 10 as far as like countries that support women in business, which is great. And I think we're on the rise. Like I think the dynamics within the social setting is changing and women are able to more now than ever have their cake and eat it too. Like we are having children later in life. We are making sure we have our careers organized.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what's happening, which is helping women be able to succeed.
And I actually like this topic a lot because I made a joke saying that, so I'm not having kids, but that's a choice that has nothing to do with, with having a business. But totally supporting. This is what we're here for as well. This is why we started the podcast, because it's like lifestyle, craziness in life, because we all have, a crazy something going on in our life. And especially for us women, it feels, because we know it is harder, and now with this topic of today, which is business, women in business and running their own business, and with all the daily stuff going on, so it's great for you that are watching to keep listening, because you have more to talk. But so I just feel like I'm really trying to train myself to rely more on that people can do what they've been delegated for, because sometimes I just tell people to do stuff and then I'm still a control freak of wanting to know updates. And
me too.
So today we had this gig, so I got a booking for a gig that I sent 3 girls, and I'm like the whole time, how is it, are you guys there, are you there, grab the microphone, do this, and I just need to train myself to understand, because then at the end they call me, it's amazing, the client called me, it was amazing, it was perfect, and
that's good.
So I have to just learn how to trust, and I believe that more women they do feel like I do, that in some points, because my business are not all related to dance, but somehow it's related to me.
Of course.
So it's...
I mean, like for me, as an example, Ben and I had to go into isolation for a week. And I got notified of that, within a few hours, and so I was like the crazy cat on the computer, just like furiously typing and like calling and organizing my whole week, because all of a sudden I couldn't be there at work, and then all of a sudden I had to like hand over like 50 clients for the entire week to the girls. And the girls that work for me, they were fine, they were perfect, and in actual fact it made me realize that it was a good test before I go on maternity leave.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to be there on the ground. And it was a bit of a sink or swim. They didn't have as much notice as what I would have liked to have given them, but they did really well.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was checking in with them. We had meetings through the week and stuff like that. But I wasn't a crazy person about it. I was like, they know what they're doing. I've given them as much as they need as far as support is going. They're fine.
Yeah, this is exactly
how... And I was good. I was relaxed about it, which is good, because previously I may have been
just
like
nah, I'll do everything.
Yeah.
What happened today was actually really good for me to understand that, yes, I don't have to be at every gig. And this is something that I actually wanted to start with. I don't want to be at every gig, because I do have all this stuff going on. So in this way, when we when we trust more, I believe that these let us grow the business
Yeah.
as well, because then of course I can't be at multiple times
No,
at once.
you
So,
can't split yourself
but
into
I
multiple
can
pieces.
then start trusting that people can do the job, and then we also start training people to do the way they would like to be done, so our business have the same. It's just like, little McDonald's thing. Everywhere
that
is the
growth
same,
factor.
and it's
And you have to take that risk. What business growth doesn't come with an element of risk? You need to either employ people or train people or, get a bigger space or have a space to start with.
Yeah.
You need to be able to risk a few things. It could be financial, it could be time,
Yeah.
it could be control, but all of those sort of things are what kind of allows that business to expand, and then for you to think about ways that you can work smarter as opposed to working harder.
Yeah,
So I think that's
yeah.
the biggest thing. I mean, I can't, like you, I could be on the ground, I could be seeing my clients, I could be training my clients in like health and fitness and the Pilates space. You could be doing the gigs, you could be training them, you could be teaching choreography. But you can also find other people who have a similar values, similar talent, similar experience, who can do that for you, that you can then, like you said, remove yourself from that floor environment and be able to concentrate on developing other projects. And that's how things grow.
Yeah.
And that's how things expand. But yeah, you can't, it takes a village to build a business. I think
It does.
it can't be just about one person.
Yeah.
And I think, did you have any mentors that you can think about that you have found have helped you along the way to get you to where you are now?
No.
You don't think?
No. I mean,
You've had contacts. You've had people.
I am. Do you mean what? Do you mean mentors by like, if I had people like kind of mentoring myself to lead this way, or you mean if I got inspired at someone?
I guess people that you can say have helped build your business.
Oh yeah.
Because I think you have.
Yes.
Heaps of people. Like,
Yeah.
because if you think about your
Here.
business, think of your business right now, it's multifaceted, right?
Yeah.
It involves clothing. It involves, choreography and gigs. We've got the podcast now. There are multiple things that you've been
in
involved
this way, of course. I mean, people that I know, they've helped me a lot. Like if I start mentioning names, I might even forget. But yes.
But yeah, there's a long
like
list
you
of
are
people.
someone that is helping my business to
Yeah.
grow. So
And I think for the most part, like this is the thing I like about, the communities that we surround ourselves with, is a lot of times people are quite, happy to help out and happy to contribute because they see promise in your projects
now that's
and your
true.
vision.
The amount of people that this is something that I can compare from my time having a business in Brazil and having a business here, is that yes. So the idea of community here to help the growth of an individual, I believe it's better. So people
In
here
Australia?
are more, I
Wow.
Well, I feel like people are more like, in a way of come and volunteer and help me if we had the photo session for our Fringe show.
Yeah.
With this amazing photographer, aka Alexandre, the
Shout
one that
out.
is doing this podcast as well. But it was in a way of helping. Like he
course.
knew about the project, and then he came and helped us. We have this amazing photo shoot, and even though he's Brazilian, I believe that it's the environment that kind of make us,
Yeah.
because of the help that we get from other people as well. So since I got here in Australia, every time I need something, even if it's like furniture for my place, it's someone always donating, or someone donating their time to help the growth of my business. So if I have a show, someone is donating to be there, the time to be there as a stage manager, or as a dresser or whatever. So I feel this. And when I was back in Brazil, I had the support of my family, as in my mom, dad, my sisters.
And that was it?
I
And
can't
the kids
even,
on the street that paid 25
I mean,
cents.
my family back in Brazil don't speak English, so I guess I can talk bad about now.
Oh, shit.
No, not
I'm
really.
proud of you.
No, they all proud of me, and they all proud of me. But the thing is just that
You can't.
I don't know.
You can't
It's
rely
not.
on-
It's not really our culture of. I don't think it is. I think that's bad.
I don't think you can rely on your friends and family to support your business necessarily, though. Like, I think sometimes it can be unfair to expect that they're the ones that are going to make your business profitable or successful. They can support you and they can, do what they can, but there's only so much that I think you can expect from your friends. I think you need to reach out to the wider community.
I'm not just
with
talking
different
about my
people.
friends. I'm talking about random people here.
Yeah, no.
But also in Brazil, if the more random they are, the less they will help.
It's so interesting though, because I feel like in Australia, when you don't have a business that's attached to like a franchise, for example, like, if you're going into the fast food industry, you've got like McDonald's or you've got like KFC.
Yeah.
Like people instantly recognize those brands.
Yeah.
And so people have confidence and faith that those brands are going to deliver a particular product or they're going to deliver a particular quality of service. Like they're just used to it because they've been there, they've done that, they've had that product before. But when you come in with a new product or a new service or a brand that has like zero reputation and you're building it from scratch, like that's often quite a ballsy move to make because, you're building it from the ground up. And with that can come time. You have to connect with a lot of people. You're often having to fund it through your own means. And it can take longer.
Yes,
but
it
it's
can.
less expensive and it often means that you've got more creative control.
To
can
do whatever you want.
Same as me. I could have bought a franchise that could have cost me, $200,000, which could have got me instant business in my industry. But I chose not to do that because I didn't want the constraints of being a franchise owner where I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I still felt
There is
underneath. And so, okay, it cost me more money and it may have taken longer to build my business. But it's now, operating 6 days a week. It's across the whole day. And I've got, employees beneath me that I can now leave my job to have my child.
Yeah.
So, it's been a 5-year journey. But at the same time, I wouldn't ever do anything different because at least I did it my way.
Yeah.
Didn't have to make any sacrifices because of somebody else's vision. Like I did it because I wanted to do it. And that's what kind of made it better for me.
Now, there's nothing to do with your business now. So you do have a business. It's 5 years now, which is great. And now going back a little bit, did you have, because you were asking me about when I had, business back in Brazil. I didn't mention many because I had 3,000.
Yeah.
But did you also, so there is this something, because you're just saying the benefits of having your own, it's because you can just create things, the way that you want, so you don't have to be inside of that square thing.
Yeah.
So I feel that people, they rather do this because it's still we have business people out there. They still rather go for the franchising because it's just probably safer or easier. I don't know. So there are business people, successful business people that want to go in this way.
Of course.
And the business people, they are like us.
Yeah.
So I feel that this is something that is like in our vein. It's like we were born with it. So did you also have like while you were a teenager or maybe like 17 years old or 18, did you had other type of small business that you tried to succeed? And of course, because we were naive, we couldn't really go on.
Here's the thing. I started working at a really young age. So I probably started working at I worked at a fairy shop when I was in my teenagers. I was like
fairy shop.
So I don't know whether they have them in Brazil, but like
we don't even believe in
kids in Australia, particularly girls, love fairies.
So what do they sell there?
So they have these things called fairy shops. And so the fairy shop is it's a store that you go into and they've got like fairy costumes, fairy wands, fairy wreaths.
Fairy everything.
But they would have fairy everything. And they have like mystical things that you can buy in the store. But they also have a room out the back and it's the magical fairy room and you can have your birthday parties there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like we would have birthday parties at the fairy shop. And
so you used to
when I was little, I had a birthday at the fairy shop, and I really wanted this dragon egg, and Mum wouldn't buy it for me, so I stole it. I hid it beneath my dress, and I must have like knocked my dress.
So your mum heard.
On the way out of the store, and you could see this like glow coming from my.
I'm going like.
So she made me walk back and return the egg. It's the only thing I've ever stolen in my entire life. And,
oh, great!
And so I returned the egg. I was mortified. I would have been maybe like 5 or 6. But then at 14, I actually went back and worked at that shop. I was in the fairy shop. That was my first job when I was 14.
Okay.
I never admitted that I actually stole the egg.
So now the whole world.
Yeah. So if the lady that employed me is listening to this podcast, I'm really sorry that I stole that dragon egg. But but that was my first job, and I was like, 13, 14, running birthday kids parties and fairy shop.
Okay.
And then I was in fashion. I didn't really have too many projects as far as like my own were, but I was choreographing routines when I was teaching kids.
Yeah, you were teaching at the same place where I teach today.
Yeah, we were both teaching at the same school.
Yeah.
So I was teaching there. So I think I always had like heaps of jobs going on at the same time. And I was having lots of different responsibilities all at once from a very young age. So I kind of got used to managing my time and juggling multiple things, wearing multiple hats. And I think that is what led me into being in business at the very beginning. And because you were used to it, and I enjoyed having lots of different things.
Like being
and variety.
Having
the craziness. I mean, you and I are both Aries. We both are fire signs.
We both love craziness.
We love craziness. Our partners bring us down to earth, but we are the visionaries. We are the masterminds behind the plan. And once one idea comes into our head, multiple ideas come into our head. Like all it takes is one thing, and then all of a sudden you can't sleep because all of a sudden you've got one project after another.
I just can't sleep right now.
And that's what I mean. Like you've got so many projects going on right now, but I think because you've had such a history of having juggled multiple projects at once, this comes naturally. People think you're crazy or I'm crazy,
but it's something that we've been doing since ever. Yeah, because like you said, I've been juggling like stuff. Business stuff. So going back to Brazil, it's like I had, so I started telling you about the restaurant, and then after the restaurant, so we closed the partnership, and then we decided to open a coffee shop. So we opened the coffee shop. Together at the same time that I had the coffee shop, I got these contracts that we talked about in the previous episode. Yeah. So if you haven't watched the previous episode, you should go there to watch it and then understand what I'm talking about. So that's what is episode number 1. But then coffee shop, all these contracts, and also I decided that I wanted to have a clothes shop. So 3 things happening at the same time. And while I was in these contracts, I couldn't really be, physically at the clothes shops or at the coffee shop. So it was already a thing that's been happening to my life since long time ago. So this craziness, it's my life.
It's what you're used to.
It's my life.
It's like once you finish with one project, you want to find something else to replace it because it feels weird having a gap.
Yes.
It is. But I mean, like, it's so funny. Like, if you think about all that stuff back then, you're basically, apart from having the coffee shop, everything you're running at the moment, you've got your clothing, you've got all of your performing.
Yeah, almost everything.
You just need a coffee shop now.
I just need a coffee shop. Let's open a coffee shop. My next business, stay tuned.
But that's what I mean. Like, I think that this is great. I mean, like, you're at a busy time in your life, exactly where you're meant to be. Really. Like, I think we're actually both sort of where we're meant to be. We've got our businesses in a position where they're growing and they're not relying necessarily on just us. But I think, it doesn't happen overnight. These businesses take a lot of late hours, a lot of hard work, a lot of, effort on our part, because at the end of the day, no one's going to care about the business as much as us.
Yeah, true.
And our reputation is aligned with our business because our business is based on us.
Beautiful.
But that's what we need.
You're very inspired.
I have my moments.
You're like, because. And here's a poem.
No, I won't go that far. But like, I think, your businesses right now, let's get you up to everyone up to speed. Let's talk about what you've got on now.
So what's on now? The Queencast. I hope you're watching this. If you listen to these, that will be live right now. But if you listen to these later, just don't forget to subscribe and give us a like. That's one thing that we're trying to release every week. Then after the Queen Quest, right now with my business, so with the Queen Factory, where I create these many crazy things, I have the Carnival at Adi, which is a project that goes for 4 weeks. So next Sunday, so it's every Sunday, next Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, we're going to be teaching at the park. It's a share and some Afro-Brazilian rhythms with a special guest that I can't tell you right now, but it's a really special guest. Then it's for free. It's open level, so you can come with the whole family, and it ends on the 27th of February, and it's going to be a big party. So 27th of February, it's the end with a block or a carnival party with live band. For an hour, we're going to have a glitter party performance.
Isn't that on the actual night of? Is that the weekend of?
That's the 27th is the weekend of what?
Is that when's Carnival?
That's very clever. Yes, it is. So that's on Sunday. That would be on Sunday of Carnival in Brazil. So in Brazil, our calendar, we still run even if the parade is not going on. The Carnival days is still in our calendar, which is a Tuesday. So the previous days, so it starts on Friday. So that will be on a Sunday of Carnival in Brazil. That's correct. Perfect. When we are doing our Carnival here. So you can't go to Rio, but we can take Rio to you right here in Adelaide at the AD Reserve. I always say Adi. 80 reserve.
But you're also bringing Carnival to Adelaide in a different way.
In a very different way and in an amazing way, which is the amazing fringe show called A Carnival Dream. So let us take you to Rio. Yes, so it's a project that happened last minute. I just decided to take a risk as always. And we are 14 members cast, and we going to be dancing, singing, acrobats happening. It's like we bringing you to Lapa, Rio de Janeiro. And it's a comic, drama, fun, everything happening at the same time. You shouldn't miss that. That is going to launch, our premiere is on the 2nd of March. And then that's a Wednesday. Then every Thursday of the Fringe will be on as well. So the 2nd, the 3rd, the 10th, the 17th is the final show. And shows will be our studio session. So we have a 7:30 show and a 9 o'clock show, PM.
No one wants to wake up at that time.
No, we don't want to go at 7.
Unless we haven't gone to sleep.
Unless it's really Carnival where people
really
don't.
Carnival, then it really is getting into the Carnival spirit.
That's the other thing. And of course, classes is still going on, and the Queen Factory shop. I have news that shoes behind you. We have amazing shoes. That's one that is from the previous collection, but new collection is arriving in Adelaide on the next 23rd of Feb. So stay tuned to our page, the Queen Factory shop. I believe you also gonna see the QR code where you can scan. But if not, I can always send you later and put in the description as well. So we have the new collection arriving from Brazil. Very
nice. Perfect timing.
And it's the collection for Carnival. So she prepared. So Vi Ferraça, which is my partner and where I get the shoes from.
Another woman in business.
We are running the world.
Trying.
So she was designing the collection for Carnival now. So we are getting the fresh stuff. We're getting what all the queens and passistas and musas are getting. So we'll be here in Adelaide very soon. And if you just keep an eye on the Queen Factory shop on Instagram or Facebook, you can see all the details, and also on my website, talitadancequeen.com. And so it's a bit of it's happening.
You've got everything's all happening. It's all happening.
Everything else.
And if you guys, have a business in Adelaide as well, reach out to us as well, from one business owner to another. We love to hear other people's stories.
Looking in the eyes. Where's your camera?
Yeah. No, absolutely. No.
Make these invitation very...
Absolutely. Yeah, no, please. We'd love to reach out and connect with other business owners, particularly in Adelaide. If we have the chance to see you guys face to face, it's really nice to see other people in this space, in this craziness like us. I'm sure, hopefully, if you have been listening, some of the things we've spoken about have resonated with you, because that's just what business is all about.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy. Shall we sign off?
We should sign off. Before we sign off, I hope I'm not forgetting anything, because they later on my sister just goes like, you forgot to say this and that and that. Our co-director, are we forgetting to say anything? No, we
I
said
think we're pretty
everything.
good.
We did ask everyone to, like the page, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. Jess, do you want to say the page of your Pilates studio as
Oh,
well?
yeah. So my Pilates studio is called Align Health Solutions. So we are located in Carrington Street in the city. So nice and central. Round the corner from where all the shows and all the fun are going to happen for Fringe. So I'm sure that my place will start looking like a costume shop with everyone's costumes that are left in the change rooms, moving in and out. It's craziness. It's great fun. But yes, that's my space. That's my business. That's my baby. That's my first baby before I have my second one.
The second baby. All right, that's great.
it. Thanks,
Great.
guys.
Thank you,
Have a good
everyone.
week.
Don't forget Overjuice for your health. Lots of vitamin C and oxidants and everything. Thank you, Overjuice, once again for supporting us on our episode number
Yes.
2. And I think this is it. So we're just going to say ciao.